The end aren't the only rites of spring today. The Gateway Playhouse in Bellport is getting ready for its summer season. Today was opening day for the Gateway's box office, and the line started forming before sunrise to buy tickets for the first show of the season, Camelot. That opens on May 8th. A Gateway production of the play toured the U.S. and Canada this winter. Also on the Playhouse lineup this summer, Lend Me a Tenor, Ain't Misbehavin', and South Pacific.
It's not unusual for artists to leave some of their works when they die to museums and various other institutions, but not
of the new season at the Gateway Playhouse in Bellport, drawing a packed house for the performance of Camelot. Both the play and the theater itself are special to Long Islanders. News 12's Patty Ann Brown reports.
A law was made of distant moon ago here. July and August cannot be too hot. And there's a legal limit to the snow here in Camelot.
King Arthur and Lady Guinevere graced the stage of the Gateway Playhouse on opening night of its 41st season. Camelot was produced here and has spent the past 7 weeks touring the United States and Canada. The play is a classic, but its themes hold true today.
Here we are after a war where we felt we did the right thing for the right reason, which is what Camelot, the show, is about. And the show is sort of mirroring the feeling in our country right now.
The showing of Camelot here after its international tour is just the beginning of what promises to be a unique season here at the Gateway. For the first time ever, the Playhouse is featuring 3 different productions that are part of nationwide tours, 2 of which will originate here.
We have Ain't Misbehavin', which is the next show up. That will be doing a month in Denver next November. Following that, it will do 13 weeks around the United States and Canada. And the last show that we offer for this season, Song and Dance by Andrew Lloyd Webber, is going to not only go around the United States, but it's now booked into Hong Kong and Singapore.
But for many theater goers, it's not just the play, but the Playhouse that keeps them coming back.
I would say it's kind of homey. No, it's not huge, so you've got kind of a personal atmosphere.
It's much more comfortable than being dressed up and going to the city plays, and it's a lot more convenient, and you get the same entertainment here as you can in the city.
Camelot will be at the Gateway through May 26th. In Bellport, Patty Ann Brown, News 12, Long Island.
And Patty Ann says the theater's second production, Ain't Misbehavin', will begin on March 29th. That is our news this hour. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Feldman.
And I'm Colleen McVeigh. We leave you now with a look at the Port Jefferson Harbor and the Mystic Clipper as it sailed through the
Camelot. Come and enjoy the splendor, the romance, and the charm of Camelot at the Gateway Playhouse. Proceeds from this performance will benefit the Alzheimer's Association. The date, May 22nd. The time, 8:30 p.m. And the number, 286-8497. Call and reserve your tickets for Camelot today.
It sounds like a plot straight out of a TV movie. 2 actors who've never met before land starring roles in the same touring musical, and only then find out they're related. That's the story behind Robert Aronson and Luann Aronson, King Arthur and Guinevere, in Gateway Playhouse's season opener, Camelot, this year. And they'll be center stage for a very special performance of the Broadway classic this Wednesday evening, May 22nd. Actress and model Isabella Rossellini and members of the Islanders will also be there to help raise money for the Alzheimer's Association fundraiser. And Gateway Playhouse co-producer John Hodge is with Carol in our studio with more. Carol.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. John, welcome back to News 12. That's almost bizarre. How did Luann and Robert Aronson, how are they related?
Well, we're calling this a star-crossed production of Camelot because they auditioned at 2 totally different times in New York City. I mean, to even take a step back further than that, they're both from Minnesota. Right. Neither one of the 2 of them really know each other existed. Their parents and grandparents kind of knew of both of them, but they didn't. And they had never met. We auditioned them at different times in New York City. And I started to kid them that everyone's going to think you're married on tour. You have the same last name. And the first day of rehearsal, they got together, and everyone said, boy, you guys look an awful lot alike. And then they started to talk. And that night, they all called home. They both called home. And after a little digging and searching, they found out they really were related.
Does it affect their roles in the show? They are, after all, Arthur and Guinevere.
They're wonderful in the show. Whether it's helped or hindered, I can't imagine it hindered them in any way. It's certainly, the 2 of them are wonderful in the show.
Camelot is nearly a 30-year-old show. Why does it still have so much charisma after 30 years?
I think it has charisma after 30 years because of the music and the actual story that it tells. It's a wonderful story. It has a lot of importance even today, though, because in a lot of ways, they're talking about a new world order. I mean, it's always related to the Kennedy era, but someday it might also be related to this particular time because of what we're trying to do right now with a new world order. As we went around the country, there was a tremendous amount of interest in the show simply for that reason. I mean, the show virtually sold out everywhere. People like that message, an idea that there's going to be peace and, right from might. That's important.
This is also the first time that Gateway is actually the producer of a show that is going on a national tour, huh?
That's correct. We've been presenting shows for Long Island now for 41 years, and we've taken the next step. And 3 of the shows that are at Gateway this season, including Camelot. Well, Camelot's just completed a national tour of the United States and Canada. 2 other shows following that, Ain't Misbehavin' and Song and Dance, will be going around the country, and one's even going to the Far East.
It's as good as Broadway, isn't it?
Well, we like to think so, and certainly a lot of our customers seem to think that way.
May 22nd, John, there's a very special performance. This one is going to benefit the Alzheimer's Association, which is so important as we find out that more and more Long Islanders, more and more Long Island families are struck with the disease. Explain to us how, by going to the show on May 22nd, we can help some of our friends and neighbors.
Quite simply, the ticket prices just aren't all that high. We still have a few tickets to sell, not many, there still are some left. And by going, the entire proceeds from that evening go directly to the Nassau-Suffolk chapters of the Alzheimer's Association.
Right. Anybody who needs some more information, of course, you really can help those who live in our neighborhood. Camelot at the Gateway Playhouse. It's this Wednesday night at 8:30. Here's the telephone number for more information. It is 286-8497. John Hoach, thanks very much for joining us. Good luck in Camelot.
Thank you.
Good to see you. See you there Wednesday night, Long Island. Back to you, Julie.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Everyone